Verse of the day 27 Exodus chapter 3 verse 12. So he said, I will certainly be with you. And this shall be a sign to you that I have sent you. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain. So he said, I will certainly be with you. This is God's personal promise of his presence and guidance to Moses as he faces a seemingly impossible task. God's assurance reflects his character as faithful and ever-present with his people. In Genesis chapter 28 verse 15, God promises Jacob, I am with you and will keep you wherever you go. In Joshua chapter 1 verse 9, God commands Joshua to be strong and courageous, reassuring him of his abiding presence. In Matthew chapter 28 verse 20, Jesus assures his disciples, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. And this shall be a sign to you that I have sent you. God gives Moses a future confirmation of his faithfulness by pointing to a moment of fulfilled promise. This sign reassures Moses that the task he is called to is not only achievable but divinely ordained. In Isaiah chapter 7 verse 14, the promised sign of Emmanuel assures God's presence with his people. In Judges chapter 6 verse 17, Gideon asks for a sign to confirm God's call, demonstrating the human need for assurance. In John chapter 2 verse 18-19, Jesus offers the ultimate sign of his authority, his resurrection. When you have brought the people out of Egypt, God speaks with certainty, showing that his plan is already set in motion and cannot fail. In Exodus chapter 6 verse 6-8, God promises to deliver his people with an outstretched arm and great judgments. In Deuteronomy chapter 26 verse 8, Israel recounts how the Lord brought them out of Egypt with signs and wonders. In 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9, believers are reminded that they have been called out of darkness into God's marvelous light, just as Israel was delivered from Egypt. You shall serve God on this mountain. The purpose of Israel's deliverance is revealed: to worship and serve God in covenant relationship. In Exodus chapter 19 verse 3-6, God calls Israel to be a holy nation and a kingdom of priests as they meet him on Mount Sinai. In 1 Samuel chapter 12 verse 24, Samuel urges God's people to serve him faithfully, remembering his great works. In Romans chapter 12 verse 1, Paul calls believers to offer themselves as living sacrifices, a form of spiritual worship. Applications for today. Trust in God's presence as he calls you to step into his purposes, no matter how daunting the task may seem. Look for God's faithfulness in past promises to find confidence in his future plans for your life. Remember that God's deliverance is not just about freedom but about bringing you closer to him in worship and service. God bless you and give you grace after grace.